that means groceries are going to be more expensive.
Greetings. This is the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, smooth as a Rolls Royce. I'm coming to you live from the 571 where I'm having fun and I'm getting things done. Tonight's tonight's show, we're going to be talking about something that's near and dear to our hearts as Black folks. We want to talk about the 92%. And what do I mean by the 92%? 92% represents the percentage of Black women who voted for Kamala Harris for president during the presidential elections. The same 92% that was telling us if we voted for the other guy, things were not going to go well. They were Black women were the bell cow of the movement and how we saw things. And for the record, 78% of the men, they also voted, 78% of Black men also voted for not Mango Mussolini or the POTUS in name only. That's what I like to call it. So before I get into it, I'm going to introduce my special not special guest, but my co-host. And first one is my favorite girl down there in Florida, the Chocolate Pearl. What's going on, Chocolate Pearl? Holla at your boy.
Hey, y'all. This is Chocolate Pearl, my brother's favorite girl. Hey, and I'm calling you from Duval 904 area code, and I am in transit back to the house from sewing class. So please excuse that I'm not on the screen today or for right now because I am driving and I need to be safe at all times.
Yes.
Um, and I'm ready to get this chat started. So thank you for welcoming me on again and welcome everyone.
And next in line, but never the least, when it comes to being nice, she's not a beast. Of course, when you come to our house, you'll get a feast, and she's from back east. The lady from the Big Apple is sweet as Snapple. Come on, Apple, holla at your boy.
You are so funny with your little rhymes. Hi, everybody. We're gonna have a great show tonight. Let's get it started.
Okay, and I wanna thank my usual cast of people that are on. I got Kim. She's always been there, and Dream or Dreams for short. She's always been there. We got Miss Mary. She just started coming. I'm glad we got Miss Summer. Welcome back, Miss Summer. Kind of miss you. You need to come home. Come home. But today's topic is going to be live, and also on YouTube Live. I got Miss Nikki. She's always kicking it there with us, and she's always one of the auxiliary team DFG. And probably later on we'll probably get Big Al to come on. Big Al's been a regular for the last month and a half. He always brings a well-seasoned and well-informed take. I love all my audience, whether you're in YouTube land, whether you're in Facebook land, whether you're in Instagram land, and started today. I'm in TikTok land live for all my
Oh, you
musicians out
back
there.
again?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, for all my TikTokers out there. This is Phil S. Good, but I'm also known as DFG, short for Dr. Phil S. Good. Cause I always make it real. I make it like it real good, like Mr. Feel Good. But I got my doctorate in. I don't want to tell you in, but I do my thing. So let's start off with Miss Summer. Can you hear me, Miss Summer? Holla at your boy.
Hi, everybody. How's it
Okay.
going?
As part of the 92%, I'm sure you're part of the 92%. I know you're not part of the 8% because you don't look like you down with Miss Owens. Um, why do you think that the country is always asking for Black women to lead the way for better, not for worse, for better.
Wow. It's a lot of history behind that. We have always been nurturers. We have just been rooted and made that way. So, uh, we've fed other people's children. I mean, it just goes back to the beginning of time. So we are the foundation.
I agree. I agree. The um, the mothers of civilization. Um, let's move it over to Dream. Dream, do you agree, disagree? What made the 92% so right? And why are people upset that the 92% is not stepping in to fight other people's battles anymore? I guess she's off doing something. Miss Kim, I'm gonna pass that to you. Why do you think the 92% are sitting it out and people are mad about it and not engaging?
Why they're sitting now, or why we as Black women,
Yeah, why are you as black women not jumping to the front lines where you're traditionally expected to be?
we're not jumping to the front line. Huh. You know, we as Black women, we are looked at as the stronger one, the strength. And like Summer said, it goes back to the beginning of time. Um, we could be just tired um, of being the one to carry the weight the majority of the time.
Okay, okay. And from the beginning, from Sojourner Truth through history to the Black Lives Matter and the Me Too movement, black women have been in the forefront. As much as people don't want to admit that, without y'all, most of those causes happen to fall apart. Go on, Miss Summer.
No, I just wanted to say that I just been hearing a lot about, people saying, you know what, we did our part. We did what we had to do. We stepped up, we represented, and now people are mad with the outcome and they want us to chime in and go all out and help out and do all of this. But we told you, hard head makes a soft behind. And we sat there and told you what was going to happen. We laid everything out for you. Michelle Obama went up there and spoke and let everybody know, hey, this is what's getting ready to go down and y'all willing to go through that. People didn't want to listen. Now they're regretting their choices. And we just sitting back like, look, I'm tired of talking. You're gonna have to learn the hard way. It's just nothing that else to be said at this particular point. Y'all are just gonna have to, I'm tired of talking to you.
But
You
isn't
know,
that the way it is, Summer? All the time, just in general, we speak about it, and no one wants to listen or believe in us until it happens.
that is the
We talk about it, we try to
that
save face, and then
yeah.
when it blows up, hey, we try to tell you.
Yes, that happens at home, that happens in the workplace. We
Yes.
are the ones who get it the worst when we love the hardest and we want the best for everybody and everything. And we are the ones. I don't know if it was Nikki Giovanni. I'm trying to remember the sister with the afro that spoke, and I was listening to her speak, and she was talking about how, she was telling her man, I want what you give the people out in the street. They get all the smiles and they get all your laughing and everything, and I get all the heartache and the pain and everything that you're going through. And I'm rooting for you, but I want the smiles. I want what you give out into the world. I want that too, because I'm over here rooting for you. So I want that. But you giving all of that away and I get all the heartache and the all the pain, but that's just I guess that's the way it's been for years. We're the ones, I guess we are made to withstand all of that and keep it moving. I don't know. I guess we just built that way.
Well, you are correct that that was Nikki Giovanni in a televised talk session with James Baldwin of circa 1970. And I think if my memory serves me correct, the answer was is basically why are we fighting with y'all? Why are y'all fighting with us? Why are y'all always mad at us? And that was her response, that black women were getting the butt end of the butt of the man to kiss, and in turn, the man was trying to say that the man was being beat down by the world, and he came in and he expected his woman to at least be some peace. But sometimes that's not always the case, because sometimes you bring that chaos home because that's what you're thinking, and that's what I used to always say, keep work at work and keep home at home. It was kind of hard during COVID because guess what? Work was home. But overall, a lot of times I think it's miscommunication, misunderstanding, and a misplaced importance on what's misplaced priorities on what's really important. Miss Mary, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? There she
I'm
go.
sorry. I'm over here trying to figure out how to get the mute button off.
I got it. I always say you got to be smarter than the equipment. Um, Quick question, and this is along those lines. Why were palm-colored people upset at former Vice President Harris is going out on a date and enjoying herself while all this stuff was going on? Why do you think they were mad at her?
I honestly think it goes back to your first question, like the first topic. They're mad because the US is burning. We burning, we on fire, we running around in circles, and she out here having the time of her life with her husband, enjoying life. And everybody else is sitting here trying to figure out, am I next on the cutting block? Am I next on the chopping block? And some people, the color of our palm just can't stand to see a black woman happy.
They
They
can't
can't
black
stand
people in general
r-
happy.
right, can't stand to see them happy, can't stand to see, uh, her husband loving on her the way that he does. It disrupts their spirit. So that's what I feel like is why.
Okay, that's a good answer. Big Al, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm getting on a little bit late trying to get caught up on the topic, but the young lady, Miss Mary, I think she hit it on the head. And people, uh, there's an old saying, misery loves company. And I think there are a lot of upset people. There are a lot of people who are very anxious, who are very fearful because we don't know what's next. And Mr. Bone Spurs is getting more and more erratic with the things he's done. Elon Musk is being more entitled to do more and more things. So people are really, really afraid. And I applaud her for getting out, letting her hair down, and spending quality time with her husband because I mean, she did everything within her power. She raised over $1 billion. She kept putting the message out there, but people were hung up. A lot of black men and black women were hung up on the fact that she married a white man. I mean, love whoever you love. I don't really care what skin tone you are, but if I have a preference, I'm going with the sisters. But there are just a whole lot of underlying things that have people upset, and they're just looking for a scapegoat, somebody to lash out at. And that uh, article with her and her husband being out was something that gave people a scapegoat to latch out on.
Yeah, and that's I mean, and those same people ain't saying nothing when the POTUS and name only went to the Super Bowl and went to Daytona 500. Those people, they were mighty quiet for that, but they worried about a person who's a private citizen now,
Exactly.
and they like, why ain't she complaining? She asked for the job. Y'all ain't want to hire her. Now you want her to work for free. No, that it does not work like that. Said she is, and there's a whole within our community. There's a whole lot of back and forth on the level of blackness that she is. Um, however, regardless of if people think she's black or not, or she's Indian, the fact is that she was the better candidate. The better candidate did not win. And now we're dealing with people's prejudices, stupidity, and um, just blindness. And now the same thing. And the thing is, we call the president a name only, an untruther. His social media says truth, but it ain't that is far from it. But you notice he said he's going to do stuff, and they didn't believe him. We believed them, and black women and black men been telling them, look, this is what you going to get. He already told you. Nah, he ain't going to do that. And now they mad because he's doing what he said he was going to do. I tell you what, they expected us to come rescue again and start protesting again so they can shoot at us and hit us with water cannons and sick dogs on us. And we like, no,
That's
y'all
what kills
done.
me. Why are you getting upset? Because now I decide I'm not going to do anything because I tried my best and the wrong person got into office. So now we got to deal with that. So they don't realize that we are trying to collect our thoughts and collect our situations of trying to survive this next 4 years. And the way that he's going, we're not going to sit out there. Yeah, I think eventually they're probably going to protest, but we still got to put into fact that we need to get our house in order first. And then we're
Amen.
going to, they said, don't, he said, you can't save anybody if you don't put the oxygen on you first.
Right. And we
So right
can't,
now, that's why we're not out there protesting, and that's why we're not out there acting a fool so we can get arrested. We're trying to we're putting the oxygen on first. That's how I feel.
yep, go ahead, Big Al.
Not only that, back
Oh,
in the days when mommy used to say, a hard head makes a soft what?
behind.
Behind.
Okay.
And that's
And and if you did something that she told you expressly not to do and you did it, it's on you. And
that's
I'm
right.
Yep.
tired.
Oh
As
yeah,
a
I'm
black
tired.
woman
DFG.
that was out there hitting the streets, trying to get people to vote, whether they voted for the orange Mussolini or not, trying to get them to vote, for their best interests. And a lot of people told me, one, I don't vote, my vote don't count, or what is she done for the black community? But what have you done?
Done
Why
for
is
the
it
black.
always on the black woman to show up and show out? We need
Exactly.
help. We need help. And now we're tired. We are tired.
Yep. Yep. Go
Yes.
And
ahead,
That's
Big
she
that
Al.
same.
deserves whatever break she has now. Y'all fired her. Remember, y'all didn't want her. So don't
Right.
expect her to come in with her super mom cape and save anybody because it's not her job anymore. She's a private citizen.
Yep.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's that old saying that, like she said earlier, if you don't do what I said, you basically, in trouble. If I tell you don't put your hand on that fire, don't put your hand on that fire. But you want to say, ooh, it's pretty, and you touch it anyway. So now you got to deal with the consequences. So you
Yes.
thought that when to me, when Kamala went out there and she decided to run, she ran so late, but she had gained so much momentum just in that short period of time. People didn't see that. And people are not realizing, well, what did she do for the black community? Well, while she was out there trying to win this race, she was still doing stuff for the black community. But because you was out there complaining, your eyes was closed. So guess what? She tired now. She want to sit down and she want to mind her business and do what she can and enjoy her husband.
She's not tired. She's tired.
Tired. Yes.
Tired. Big Al,
That's
you
right.
had your you had
Yeah.
you had your hand up.
Yeah. Yeah. To the point about protest, the most effective protest tool that we can use is our dollars.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, Amazon, Target, Walmart, and those big corporations are starting to feel the pinch of the dollar. And nothing speaks more to people's mind, their thoughts, and their hearts than dollars. And standing out in the cold, standing out holding picket signs and those sort of things, that's of the past. We need to be smarter and use the billions and billions of dollars that we as Black people spend in these corporations and businesses to show them, hey, our voices are going to be heard. And if you're not going to do the right thing by us, then we're going to cut off the funding.
Yep, and that's exactly how we got to do. We have to vote with our wallets. You don't want to say you don't want to do what we ask. Hey, don't worry about it. We ain't spending a dime. And in our community, we're hyper consumers, and we've been targeted to get rid of our money as soon as possible. That's why we be hood rich. However, we are better equipped because of how things were and how things are. We're better equipped to deal with adversity than the general populace. Because when you've been beat on so long, you just you learn how to adapt to try to do the best you can. Miss Dreen, are you there? There you go.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. We've been talking about former Vice President Harris and her husband, Mr. Emhoff, going out, and then people just acting a fool. What do you think? Why do you one first? I'd ask you early, but why do you think the 92% are not out there in the streets raising a ruckus like they're expected to do, and why would they get mad because former Vice President Harris decided to take a seat after she didn't win?
I think part of it is like I heard someone said, I feel like it's a mixture of tired, disappointment, and shock all wrapped up into one. It's like, really? After we did all this work to, try to support her, Black women for Kamala, women for Kamala in general, and then just going out there trying to rally the troops to vote. And then it's almost like you're in a state of disbelief that this man actually won, this felon in chief. So you're like, oh my God, really? So it's just like it's a combination of things. And I think we're just sitting out right now because it's almost like we have to process all of this thing that's going on. It's like so much happening. Call from Lakeland FM. So I think that's definitely what's happening. I think that's why I think we're at a loss for words, and we're just trying to process and kind of regroup and take our breaths. And I think it's like a coping mechanism along with some self-care that I feel like Black women and everybody kind of really needs. And then the way he started off on this tangent of all this chaos has made it even worse.
I agree. I agree. I definitely agree. Miss Mary said in the comments, "One who don't hear must feel." Yeah, that's true. If you don't hear me, you're gonna feel me. You feel me?
And the funny thing is, I think whoever this is complaining about the date, those are the righteous white people who probably are like, oh my God, we didn't know he was going to do all this. So they're like, what is she doing? Just living her vice president, her no non-candidate person life. Like they're looking for a savior now.
Yeah.
So they're all in an uproar, but it's because, and some of them are the same ones that voted him. So they're in the find out stage and they're just in utter disbelief. Like, what? We need someone to help us. Like, where are you guys? So I just feel like, and then it's been such a whirlwind. It's like literally, has it been a month yet? And 5-6 planes falling out of the sky. Any other president that's happening. You fired the FAA, put some guy in charge that was a former real world contestant. you have all the safety people home on furlough, and you wonder why planes are dropping like flies. And then every minute you try to distract with another chaotic move after another. So it's just so much going on that it's almost like we're all trying to process it, but it's also we're just sitting back and be like, because that's what I keep thinking. All of us who are kind of pushing for the world to do the right thing, we're gonna make it. I'm worried about the people that I feel like it's a lot of those white folks who aren't used to suffering. They're not used to struggle. So they're the ones that's going to be jumping off bridges and killing themselves and doing all types of stuff where we're just going to be like, okay, another day in the life. Let's see how we can figure this out. And we're going to figure out a way to make $1 out of 15 cents. So we will survive it, but it's a lot.
I agree. That's definitely well put. Apple, you gave us this subject. Tell me, what do you think of how Black women are vocal but not aggressive? Because that's been one of the things to denigrate Black women, saying whenever y'all raise your voice, y'all aggressive. Say y'all loud, y'all ratchet, y'all ghetto. But
I think a lot of times people mistaken our passion for aggressiveness, because most of the time we're not afraid to speak up for what's right and fight for what's right. But people look at that and deem it aggressive or ratchet or ghetto, because maybe some people don't have the words to articulate what they're feeling, and they may raise their voice. They may speak, in a manner that is not the norm. But the message is always the same. We care, so we're gonna fight for what's right. 9 times out of 10.
I agree. And
I'm gonna tell a little story. I'm not really big on speaking, but one time I was in the city, and it was a young girl. She had to be maybe a teenager, and she was lost, a young white girl. And out of everybody, if you ever been in New York City, anybody here, it's always packed midtown. It's a billion people rushing. And out of everyone, she stopped me and she asked for my help. And of course, I gave it to her because that's the type of person I am. But she said, I'm going to be honest. I stopped you because my mom always told me if I get lost or if I need help, go to a Black woman and she'll be the one to help you 9 times out of 10. And that stuck with me, because why is it that everybody always comes to us for help?
Because of the mammy.
I think so too.
It's a stereotype that Black men are dangerous and deadly. Black women are over sexual and mammies, because they don't see us. They don't see us. We're either the brute, the rapist, the Jezebel, the step and fetchits, or pimps and hoes and all that other good stuff. But we're also the ones that they think that white people that they'll defend white people and at the cost of their own lives. Well, it's 2025. That ain't working no more. That ain't working no more, because you know now you gotta go out in the sun on yourself. We ain't going out in the sun no more. Y'all getting rid of all of the brown people who've been picking your fruits and your vegetables. So y'all ain't going out there. Them sun dodgers ain't going out there. Because so we have natural protection. They kind of don't. That's why they invented sunscreen. Uh, definitely. Chocolate Pearl. Um, what are your thoughts on what the way ahead? You know how they're okay with MT6B, but they always call Representative Crockett ghetto and hood, even though she's more educated than 90%
I
of the
love me
people in
some
there.
Jasmine. Lord Jesus, I love that girl. I love her because she speaks her mind and she speaks the truth, and she always have her what they call it, uh, receipts.
Yeah.
She always has her receipts, and she breaks it down. But she thinks before she speaks. I don't know if y'all ever noticed that, but she thinks before she speaks, and I love the way she talks and the way she sticks up for her people. And it's not just the Black people; it's her people. Period. She's there for people who need that support, needs someone on their side, and she is one of those persons. And she don't take no mess. She don't care who you are. She don't take no mess from nobody. But they do think they trying to turn her into a mad Black woman, but she's not mad. She just has to emphasize, no, not emphasize. She has to, what's the word I'm looking for? Apple.
I don't know, but she is mad and she deserves to be mad. We all should be a little mad.
But she's not. She's mad person, but not a mad Black woman type mad. You know what I mean? And it's a difference.
Right. She could be
very passionate, very passionate.
Right. She's very passionate. It's a whole difference in her saying that she's mad. She's mad at what just happened with all this that transpired. She's mad, and then she still has to fight for us. But she's not a mad Black woman stereotype.
right.
She's just a person that's going to stand by your side. She's
That's
like we
true.
talked about earlier, that mother that's going to protect her children.
Right.
That's
my question, and this is why I brought up the subject. Why is it always our job to do that?
right.
Why do we always have to put on the cape and save the world? When is it going to be a time where we could sit back and the world save itself? Why do we always have to be the face of the protest? Why do we always have to be the backbone or the legs that make people stand up for what's right? Why is it always us? They always look to us to do it.
Well,
when is somebody going to save us?
Right, but that's the thing is that we can't expect anybody to save us. We can't. We don't have allies. We have interests. Um, the issue is that we're the only ones capable of shouldering the load. We've been doing it for over 500 years, through thick, thin, up, down, and wherever. We basically been the soul of the country, and people get upset because we're not where we as a black as black um foundational blacks in America. um we realize that no matter how much, like Big Al said, no matter how much we take signs out, they shoot at us, they do this, they do that. So we want other people, if y'all serious about making a change, do what you said you were going to do and do something. Don't talk about it, be about it. Be about your business. We already know that train, when it comes to us, that train is never late. Anti-black. It ain't, that train ain't never late. But now that y'all feeling some of that, now that y'all getting some of that black non-love, you're upset that we ain't jumping in front of no bullets. And we ain't taking no L's like that. We say, look, we're just preparing for the bounce back. Because no matter how far we get, they're always trying to bounce back and put us back even further. That's why all this. That's why DEI and woke became pejorative as opposed to transformative. It if you want to, and this is history. This is not me just pulling stuff out of my behind, or as in the army they say, fourth point of contact. If you want to get rid of something, you want to turn the people against something, put a black face on it. Welfare originally wasn't for black people. When black people was able to start getting it, it became a bad thing. Free college, reduced college, public education. When black people started using it more, they took it away. Affirmative action should have never been needed, but it was necessary. It was a necessary evil, but they got rid of it by attaching it to black people, even though black people didn't always benefit from that. Um, SNAP and SNAP and all those other all those other welfare programs, government assisted. It was okay when we weren't getting it, but now that we became more eligible, they denigrated and said they call it a handout. Social Security they trying to cut. We all paid into it, so it's not an entitlement. It's a benefit for us you put money in, you're supposed to get money back out. That's why it was invented, but we weren't initially in eligible to get Social Security because of the jobs we worked. They were very, very meticulous in delineating things that majority Black people did. They couldn't be eligible. They could pay into the system, but they wasn't getting anything back. Yeah, I could talk all day. I could talk all day about this.
Well, Dabs wanted to say something. I had my hand raised, but I don't
I'm
think
sorry, I couldn't see it. Go ahead, Dabs.
Oh yeah, I actually wanted to question about or I guess clarification of the question on hand is I think originally she asked if the women were the ones that are is that what I'm understanding is Black women is the one that are taking care of what's happening or trying to fix what's going on. Is that the question?
Yes, yes.
kind of turn it into just as a general Black people, but he wanted to specify that it was talking about, which is a different women, Black
No,
women.
they expect Black women to come and fix what they messed up. That was the question. Why is that the norm? Why do people feel like Black women should be the end all and be all
and
for
on front
change
and lead
and lead, right? On the
and
forefront.
as soon as they make headway, guess what? The white women coming in like, we got this now.
We got this now, right? Even when when she first started to run, Black women, we was behind her, and then everybody else came in, and once the other demographics started coming in, then it caught fire. But we started it. We're like, okay, let's do this million woman phone call, Black women phone call to to raise money for her. Let's do this, let's do that, and then other demographics join in.
Right.
They always look to us for answers, and then when we give them the answers and they don't agree with it, then it's like the mad Black woman stereotype trope thrown on us. Now even like other marginalized community are actually on TikTok and Facebook and all of that saying, well, where are the Black women? Where are they? We need their help. We were there for them. Where are they now?
They wasn't there for y'all.
Right, exactly. We were there, and y'all told us to go home and sit down. So that's what we doing. By the way y'all voted, we went home and we sat down, and that's it.
Go ahead, Summer.
No, I just wanted to point out two things. Like I know Kim and I were talking in the past about how even in the workplace, and even how Jasmine had mentioned before, we are expected to exceed what is expected of us. We have to not know the job, but we have to know everything back, forth, sideways. We have to come to the highest uh expectation possible when we go into the workplace. And so it's so weird to me that for people to view us as, second class citizens, they look down at us and all of this stuff, but at the same time they admire us, they love our style, we are trendsetters, they love our music. It goes back to again, the beginning of time, how much we're admired, but yet at the same time you want to keep us at bay. You don't want us to reach a certain plateau and reach a certain type of uh range. We have to be at a certain level. You have to feel superior at all times. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like anything we do, y'all take it and make it y'all's, and and try to. So quote unquote upgrade and do all of this stuff because you have more means, but we are the inventors. We're the ones who started it. So it's just very weird. This world, again, from the beginning till now, it's a long hard road, but I'm just going to continue to remain hopeful. I'm just going to stay prayed up. I myself as a black woman am just sitting back watching the roof burn. I'm sitting back, I'm watching it all unfold, and I'm not going to add any 2 cent in. I'm not putting no band-aids. I'm not bringing no water to no fire. I'm just sitting here watching it because I am tired, and again, I did my part. I did what I was supposed to do. So now, yeah, I'm gonna just sit back, and part of me, and the sad part is I might still help. Somebody comes to me and as a child that ICE is after and stuff, I might hide that child. You know what I'm saying? It's just my nature. But at the same time, I'm not, I don't feel like as if I should go all out and do again, I'm supposed to be this magical unicorn that's supposed to be exceptional, and I have to, you know what I'm saying? I know more than other people at my job, and I do more, and I don't feel like that anymore. I really don't. So it's just weird. I feel so weird right now. It's just a lot of changes going on in the world, and we just have to stay prayed up.
Well, that's true. Go ahead, Big Al.
Yeah, I agree, but I think we should exhale and take a step back because the next big milestone for us is going to be these midterm elections. So Bone Spurs is doing everything that he can as quickly as he can, but we need to be prepared to flip both the House and the Senate. So that's where our energies needs to be focused on these midterm elections that are going to be coming up in 2026 and all those down ballot uh, uh, votes that are going to be needed to change governors, to change local representatives, councilmen. And that's how we're going to be able to build a groundswell to be able to block bone spurs. And then the next big objective is going to be the 2028 elections that we can get his ass out of the White House. So I say exhale, but we need to be prepared to move forward with the midterm elections.
That makes so much sense. I'm going to take a quick commercial break to do a commercial of the sponsor of the show, and that's Golden Girls Creations. Golden Girls Creation for the things that you may need. And we're back. We're having fun in the sun. Golden Girls Creation and the founder, owner, and maker of all the designs, my favorite girl, the Chocolate Pearl. She always does that. I told her she needs to do this full time, make that money until she can't make no more, and then adopt me and feed me grapes. But that's another story. That's another story for another day. This is an excellent conversation. I'm glad that everybody was engaged. Everybody was together and we are doing our thing. Every Tuesday night, and those in TikTok land, now that you know I'm there, you need to come on. If you want to come on the show, check out my link tree. You can come in on the Zoom part and enjoy it from there, or you can stay and watch it on there. I want to, like I said, I want to thank everybody for their input, the way things have flown, and how we can talk and not be argumentative and we may disagree, but we're not disagreeable. Cause those are those things that we can always do. And this is how I'm not saying how we should be because most of us in here we weren't raised by wolves. So we have to have some sort of manners and some sort of civility. However, as as we get down the road and like Big Al was talking about 2026, that's next year, that's a year from now, you got to look at making changes because this is not working. When you're not even a month in and things are just topsy turvy, it ain't working. So what happens when it don't work? Use what levers you have to make things happen. There was a podcast I used to watch all the time called Bold the Fifth Column, and he had this thing called Rule 303. Those with the means to solve a problem need to use those means to solve the problem. So if you have the ability to solve a problem and you see a problem, solve that problem. We're looking at it like, hey, y'all got to work it on your own. So we're working on us. I think it was Apple who said earlier, we're working on us. We're bringing it closer to us. We're trying to get ourselves together because I think black people in general, black women in particular, are too tired, too tired. And ladies, y'all can disagree with me, but this is my personal opinion, not the opinion of the station. Y'all tired of setting yourself on fire to keep people warm.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
So yeah, we as like I said, we as black people and black women particularly need to stop setting yourselves on fire, setting us on fire, setting yourselves on fire. And then those people, because once you burned out, you ain't no good to them, and they put you in a trash heap. So we're saying now we're preserved, we're reclaimed as Representative Walters said back in the day. Maxine Waters from California once said, "I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time." So that's what it's all about. Now, do I agree with everything? No, because y'all, I mean black women, y'all could be hard headed sometimes, a little crazy, and sometimes a bit selfish. But so can we as black men.
Sometimes we have every right.
Yeah. So,
Say it again.
but the thing is that
Sometimes we have every right.
saying, a lot of us call y'all queens because y'all deserve to be uplifted. We don't do it often, but those who deserve it will get uplifted. And because we all know in here, we know people that I'll just say doesn't represent what we should represent, and I'll leave it at that. And that's gender agnostic because we have people that are only looking out for themselves within our group. We have people who will steal from their mama, and we have people who will help everybody. We all got those in every family, so don't even front. Somebody says they never had anybody like that in their family. That already tells you they're the one that was that way. If ain't nobody around you like has bad behavior, then you the one with the bad behavior. You just don't see it because it's you. But it's just interesting in how we have come we've come down this road, and we've been on this road for a long time, and we're looking for an exit strategy. However, we just gotta grin and bear it, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So we got about 10 minutes left, and I just want to go around the horn and ask this question. I'm gonna start with you, Chocolate Pearl. What are you going to do for the people? And when I mean the people, I mean our people in 2025.
That's a good question. Other than what I normally do is, I'll volunteer, for different things to help our community if possible. Um, so I've been doing a lot of that anyway, but I think I'm gonna do more. I have not done as much here in Florida, but I think I am going to step out and try to do a little bit more here in Florida, and you know, help the community, but speak about it too, um, and try to be about it and not just speak about it. I've always tried to be about it anyway, but sometimes it does not show. But I think I'm going to let that light shine a little bit more in 2025
This
and
little light of
for the rest.
mine.
Uh,
This little light of mine. I'm gonna let
that's
it
right.
shine.
I'm gonna let it shine, and I'm gonna let it shine. But I do a lot. I used to do a lot of community work. I used to, help. Right now, I'm in the cancer uh, community right now, so dealing with learning how to help with that situation. But as a Black person, I think I'm just going to go back to what I used to do when I lived in South Carolina, and serve the people as well as help them out and volunteer as much as I can.
Okay, okay. Miss Dream, are you there?
Yes, I am.
What are you going to do for the people in 2025?
Oh my goodness. I think the best thing I can probably do for the people in 2025 is I feel like sometimes when you just kind of um, expand your own knowledge. So I think more reading, more learning and growing so I'm better able to serve my students and hopefully the greater community by being that like change agent, that imparter of knowledge and information to help people to just grow and discover their best selves. So I think it'll focus on starting with me and building my own knowledge and my own skill set of how to move and kind of like navigate this interesting political climate and time, and then how to use that information to impart my knowledge to give it to others so that they can grow. So it's kind of like each one teach one type of thing, because sometimes I feel like even though I don't want to own it, like that's like my superpower, to be able to reach and communicate.
Oh, very good, very good. Big Al, same question to you.
Well, I'm going to do a lot more of what I did in the past. Uh, I've been involved with the local Democratic Party. I've been involved through my fraternity, working a program of voteless people as a hopeless people. But then I want to expand my horizons to join this podcast as I have done with the other podcasts to be able to learn and to share information and share knowledge. And I'm encouraging other people who need this knowledge and information to join and be a part of these platforms where they can get information and gain knowledge.
That's very wonderful. Miss Kim, your turn.
My turn. Well, with me and Summer work the same job. So I just recently joined the community outreach with my job. So, and I just spoke with my partner that I work with, talking about getting out in the community more, building up resources to give out to those in need. Um, I'm starting to develop more within each community, getting my feet on solid ground to be more available to help those that need help.
Okay, okay. Miss Summer.
Hey, I'm sorry, I had to widen my screen. Oh man. So I believe knowledge is power. Um, I I just want to take it back to what uh, what was said earlier in the podcast about just trying to take all of this in and trying to live with all of this on your mind and what's going on day to day. So I today I myself I, if it makes any sense, I got a little clarity today about wanting to learn more, gaining more knowledge, so that I can keep making informative decisions. I am going to really focus on the midterm elections. I'm going to reach out to my peers. I'm going to try to educate um, some of our coworkers who are a little upset about their decisions they made with about Trump now. And hopefully, they will make better decisions. And, that's all we can do. Just like each one teach one and lead by example.
Okay, and finally, Apple.
I'm sorry, I couldn't. um, I'm gonna keep it local. My love language is acts of service, and I think I'm gonna focus on a more local level. Um, I'm running for a position with the tenant association in my community, and I want to implement programs that will serve the community, like GED prep programs, um, food pantries, because there's unfortunately, a lot of children in this community that are not getting enough to eat at home. So I want to try to, get that started, and just like focus on home.
Okay.
And maybe if I can do that, it'll spread wider, and I can get, people registered to vote. So we'll have, more people, interested in what's going on in the world around them. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on for now, because I'm retired. I have time, and I need to do something productive and help my community at the same time.
Yeah. So that means you're unemployed. You ain't got
Basically,
you ain't got no job,
I ain't
Tommy.
got no job, Craig.
Well, and I want to thank everybody for saying that. And me, I'm not gonna ask you to do something. I'm not gonna say. Um, I've been involved in the community for over 30 something years. I don't see the difference in not helping the community because you gotta, like you said, Apple, start at home and work your way out of. Yeah. If y'all didn't know, I'm very active in the people with special needs community. I'm also an ally of the LBGTQIA plus community, and I'm also and I'm also a member of, like Big Al. I'm also a member of not the same fraternity, but we think alike on those things, and just continually build up, and build up, because the more people come up. And if I can't affect but one person, that's one more person that's affected. And being positive and doing those things that are necessary for us to move forward. Because we don't have to all agree, but we have to all come to a consensus that we're going in the right direction. And I'm gonna say, all you people out there, Facebook land, TikTok land, Instagram land, and YouTube land, just keep your head up, continue to fight if that's what you're gonna do. And when you see a fellow black person, nod, nod, or gesture to say, "Hey, I acknowledge you, black person." Just acknowledge somebody, and that means we're not alone in this world, and we're not trying to fight everybody, because too many times we take out our anger at the world on people that we don't know or we don't see. Sometimes we take it on our family, but you got to realize that life is not easy. It's never going to be easy, especially if you're Black in America. So on that note, I'm going to close the show tonight. I want to thank everybody coming through. My lovely sister from the same mister, Miss Chocolate Pearl, my favorite girl. The lady that's sweet as Snapple, Miss Apple, because she's always on point. She's sometimes tart, sometimes sweet. Also, I would like to thank the other members that are here today. Miss Summer, thanks for coming on. Miss Dreen, as always. Miss Kim, always. Big Al, thank you for faithfully coming on. Miss Nikki over out there in YouTube land. And those who are a part of the community, we love you. We want you to come back every Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern Standard Time. And I'm going to close this thing out. All opinions are those of the participants making them and are not an endorsement of any position, program, religion, or political affiliation. DFG's Corner is for information, observations, and entertainment. I ask that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. All opinions are those of the participants making. Gotta be smarter than the equipment. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and that ends our show today.